just as Florida State has been trending down, Crimson Tide have been trending up the other way. Yep. And I think they erased kind of any doubt that they are maybe not a contender this year by taking down the Vanderbilt team that beat them a year ago this afternoon. So there were a lot of potential potholes, too, for Alabama coming into this Week 6, coming off the Georgia win last weekend. Could have easily kind of had a come down back home. Obviously, a Vandy team coming into town that's been, talking their talk, like you said, Scoob, all off season, and at SEC Media Days about what they were going to do to Alabama in this game. What did Alabama do differently, Scoob, in this matchup that they didn't do last year in Nashville?
Alabama dominated the time of possession. When you look at it last year, they only had the ball for 17 minutes and 52 seconds in the loss. Vanderbilt basically made sure that they only had a single possession that lasted longer than 4 minutes in the game. And this time, Alabama had the ball for over 37 minutes, 20 minutes more than they had last year. They had 4 scoring drives that lasted over 5 minutes. And one of the question marks for Alabama for me coming into this game was like, can they be able to run the ball? Yeah. Can they get a running game cooking? They had Jam Miller return last week, and it was a huge help. Big body back. He can really generate some big runs for you. The defense is going to get tired of hitting him. He had 136 yards rushing, the most that an Alabama running back has had in a conference game since Jahmyr Gibbs had that in 2022. So they're able to hurt you in the running game now. They're holding on to the ball. Ryan Grubb has been in his Louis bag. What in the world is in that bag? What you got in that bag?
It's actually a go yard. It's that special, right? All right, yeah.
Well, any time that they're in a situation where they got to have it, they get creative with the play calls. They know how to get Ryan Williams the ball. Bernard is involved in every single key situation that they need him. When Simpson targeted Ryan, he was perfect on the day. Yeah. So they're able to do a lot of different things. I mean, we're seeing Caden Proctor being involved in the offense in back-to-back weeks now. He's just playing games. It's like an Andy Reid offense. You don't know where they're going to hit you from. Right. And I think Ty Simpson needs to be added into the Heisman conversation because he is playing ball to an elite level. And just a credit to him, a guy who's stuck with Alabama, a 4-year junior, 2022 5-star recruit under Nick Saban, who's just been working and developing instead of negotiating.
Old school, baby.
And going in the portal. So a lot of credit to him, a lot of credit to Alabama and this office getting better each and every week.
No doubt, Scoop. I totally agree with everything that you just said. And you know why? Because it's facts. All right. That's really what it comes down to. And Kane Womack, right, defensive coordinator for Alabama, phenomenal job today. Right, because I think that's the biggest thing. When you see Diego Pavia and this team, it's no longer this gadget football team, right? They're an aggressive, downfield, down and distance passing attack, and they mix in some great gadget plays off of that, like these shuffle passes. These were plays that were absolutely detrimental to Alabama a year ago. Last year, that was a gain of 15, 20. Yeah. Today, it was a gain of 6. The speed of which Alabama played today was very impressive. Now, hey, Diego, he definitely had his moments. There's no doubt about it. But the turnovers in the low red zone, that's where Alabama won this football game. Justin Jefferson with that strip, right, going into the low red zone area for Diego Pavia, that was a huge play in the game. That totally changed the whole vibe of how Alabama felt about themselves. And then, of course, later on, Keon Saab, right, with a really good defensive call by Womack, a look that Diego probably has not seen from the Alabama defense all season long. He was able to intercept that pass in that low red zone area. So the mixture of looks, the speed in which they're playing with, the ability to play on the back end, especially by Justin Jefferson and Deontay Lawson, their linebackers, those leadership guys, right, with Damani Jackson on the outside at corner, Keon Saab at safety. Man, the secondary is coming along, and really the big question mark really for Alabama going forward is, can you pressure the quarterback when you have to, right? That's the one thing that I would say is like, it's a little bit of their issue. When they need to get after the passer, can they do it? He's going to have to be creative, Womack, with just sending pressures right from the secondary, from the linebacker unit as they get into that, which will be a tough thing to do, especially against some of the better skill groups in the SEC.
But it seemed like this Alabama team, their strength is their offense, what they're able to do offensively. I mean, 7 for 15 on third down, yet again, playing really well there. Their first turnover all season was in this game. Ty Simpson threw an interception. They're one of the few teams in college football yet to throw an interception. But I think when you look at it, the the way that the defense is able to create turnovers in key situations was huge. I mean, 2 turnovers in the red zone for Diego Pavia that generated 10 points for Alabama. When you think about it, that's at least 3-3 or 7-7 or 7-3.
Yeah.
That's a huge swing. So I say that all to say this, that Vandy is still a team that should not be taken lightly.
No.
This is becoming a rivalry that I'm going to enjoy every single year. Vandy and Bama.
You like that I said that earlier today, right?
Yeah,
this is a new rivalry, man. It is.
Keep it going.
I don't know what the damn award is for them, but make something up and let's get this going. 'Cause this is a real thing.
Yeah, there's plenty of weird trophies in college football. You could
we could add another one.
You could come up with
Why
something.
not?
But yeah, I mean, the narrative coming into this one was that Alabama has struggled with running quarterbacks. It really wasn't running quarterbacks as much as it was tackling in open space.
Right.
And I feel like they made the tackles when they needed to today to try and kind of stop this offense.